US-Israeli strikes targeting Iran's civilian and energy infrastructure intensified regional tensions as the conflict, triggered by airstrikes on February 28, continued to escalate. According to reports, strikes hit Iran's South Pars petrochemical complex and multiple airports around Tehran. Iranian media said an airstrike in Tehran's Baharestan district destroyed 4 residential units and damaged about 40 homes and vehicles, killing 15 civilians. The Israeli Air Force said dozens of fighter jets carried out attacks on aircraft, helicopters, and military infrastructure at 3 airports around Tehran, Baharain, Mehrabad and Azmayesh, claiming several Iranian aircraft were destroyed. Iranian media reported that petrochemical facilities in Asaluyeh, including the Jam and Damavan plants, were targeted. The national petrochemical company said fires caused by the attacks were brought under control and that no injuries were reported, while damage assessments were ongoing. Facilities operated by Mobin and Damavan companies, which supplied electricity, water, and oxygen to the plants, were also struck. Strikes also hit a petrochemical complex in Mavdash near the city of Shiraz. Authorities said the fire was contained and only minor damage occurred. Israel's military said it killed Asghar Bagheri, commander of the Quds Forces Special Operations Unit since 2019, in a strike on Tehran. Iranian media also reported the killing of Majid Kademi, head of the intelligence organization of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, who had taken the role in 2025 after his predecessor was killed in earlier strikes. Iran's Tasnim news agency reported that Iran, Yemen's Houthis, and Hezbollah launched what it described as a tripartite joint attack on Israel. Explosions were reported in Jerusalem, the Greater Tel Aviv area and Eilat. Israeli media said drones targeting Eilat originated from Yemen, while reports described coordinated attacks from Iran, Lebanon, and Yemen. Reuters reported about 20 missile launches from Lebanon and 5 from Iran during the day, with several impacts reported, though it remained unclear whether they resulted from direct strikes or falling debris. An Iranian missile strike hit the Israeli port city of Haifa overnight, destroying a residential building and killing 4 people, bringing Israel's death toll to 23. Israel's defense ministry said it planned to accelerate production of Arrow missile interceptors. Iran also targeted U.S. military positions in the region. Iranian officials said drone strikes targeted U.S. forces stationed on Kuwait's Bubiyan Island, striking satellite equipment and munitions. 6 people were injured by falling debris in northern Kuwait following the attack, according to the country's health ministry. Iranian state media also reported drone attacks targeting Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia's Al-Khaj as well as the Al-Adiri base in Kuwait. Iranian authorities additionally claim to have shot down a U.S.-Israeli unmanned aerial vehicle over western Lorestan province near the Badavar area. U.S. officials told CBS News that 15 Americans were injured in an Iranian drone strike on an airbase in Kuwait. U.S. President Donald Trump said Iran's response to a ceasefire proposal was significant but not good enough, as he set a deadline for Tehran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz or face expanded military action. Trump also threatened to jail a reporter who disclosed information related to the rescue of 2 U.S. airmen in Iran. Iran warned of retaliatory attacks after the deadline and threats targeting Iranian power plants and bridges. European Council President Antonio Costa warned against attacks on civilian infrastructure and called for diplomacy instead of escalation. The head of the International Monetary Fund warned that the war could lead to higher global inflation and slower economic growth even if fighting stops immediately. In Lebanon, 3 people were killed in an attack in the Tyre district as Israeli forces advanced through southern areas. The United Nations said more than 1 million people in Lebanon have been displaced, with about 137,000 living in shelters and many lacking access to basic services. An advisor to Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf said Iran would not back down and claimed the country had won the war, warning the United States ahead of Trump's deadline tied to reopening the Strait of Hormuz. The Israeli military later announced a new wave of airstrikes targeting infrastructure sites across Iran, including Tehran, while Israeli defense systems intercepted incoming Iranian missile fire. Residents in affected areas received precautionary alerts instructing them to move to protected facilities. The UN Security Council is scheduled to vote on a revised resolution addressing threats to navigation in the Strait of Hormuz. The draft demands that Iran halt attacks on commercial vessels and encourages coordinated defensive efforts to ensure maritime security without explicitly authorizing the use of force. Explosions were also reported in Damascus, which Syrian state television said said resulted from Israeli air defenses intercepting missiles fired from Iran. Additional explosions were heard near Tehran's Mehrabad airport and in the nearby city of Karaj. The United Arab Emirates said its air defense systems were intercepting missiles and drones originating from Iran, while Bahrain urged residents to seek shelter after sirens were activated amid renewed missile threats. A Filipino citizen was among 4 people killed in the Haifa missile strike, according to the Philippine Foreign Ministry, which said assistance was being provided to the victim's family. Meanwhile, a U.S. senator criticized threats to target Iranian civilian infrastructure, warning such actions could constitute war crimes. Chinese President Xi Jinping called for accelerating development of a new energy system to ensure energy security amid global economic disruption linked to the conflict.